Uh-oh, you're muted, Courtney.
Okay, there we go. Hi, guys. How's everyone doing today? Good. Hi, Jackie.
Fantastic.
Well, we are in for a
Awesome.
treat today. Welcome to Now Nation Huddle. Let's see if you guys can see my screen with the leaders of Now Nation. We've got Amir, Russell, Randy, Michelle Roderick, my business partner, and I, Tom Daves, Jackie McKelvin, Don Yoakum, and Matthew Stewart. And we are so excited to come together and collaborate each week. We feel that we're stronger together than trying to do all this individually. And as you know, we have a weekly theme going on with quarter one being tech and AI. And boy, are you guys in for a treat today with our speaker, Mr. James Rembert. Michelle Roderick heard him as well as some other people on this call at the LA rally. He is amazing. And he started his career as a real estate agent, but he saw firsthand that traditional marketing it's not what actually drives the business. So it led him to found Digital Natives Inc. And launch AI Agent. Am I saying that right, James?
Agent.
Just Agent. Okay.
Yeah.
Agent, where he teaches professionals how to implement practical AI, which is what he's going to do with you guys today. Agentic workflows and automation that produces real results. So today we've asked him to focus more primarily on Claude. And we had a bit of a conversation before he started. And he said he's going to get real with you guys and teach you some stuff that you can actually do. No fluff, excuse my French, no bullshit, stuff that you can get down to work on right away when we leave this call. Do I have that right, James?
Excellent.
All right. Well, I'm going to let you take it from here.
What's up, you guys? All right. Otis, I got one of my proteges in. Otis, grab the chat. Can you give Otis access to the chat? You can leave it where I can see everybody. I think it's a little easier for me to flow that way. I can get a better perspective of what you guys understand. So if you can, I think you got to set it as like speaker spotlight. You don't mind. I like to see the faces. Um, the reason why I asked that, it'll record as speaker spotlight as we get into it. What I'm trying to get a sense of the room is what you guys understand. Right? There's no point in me going through a whole bunch of presentations and tools and techniques, and you guys ain't doing shit. So let's get to see what you're doing. What is this? PG-13? Or are we adults here? Before I get started, are we?
You
We
choose. I'm kind
okay?
of
We're
a
adults.
PG-13 guy, James.
I got you. I
I'm
I'm
got you,
just
adult.
Matthew.
kidding.
No,
I'm
no, no,
just
no,
kidding.
no.
I'm just
I got
playing with
you.
you.
I got you. The reason why I say that is here. I'll fix my screen for me. The reason why I say that is because I think a lot of you guys have the misconception of what AI is, and unfortunately, most people look at AI as a monolith, and you can't do that. If you look at AI like a monolith, that is equivalent to saying all black people. You see what I'm saying? Right? We each are have our own identities, and every large language model has an identity. When you understand what the tool is, you understand how to use it. The very first thing I'm going to focus you guys on is pick one large language model. When I say large language model, I'm talking about Claude, Gemini, Kimi, DeepSeek, whatever you choose, pick one. Today, I'm going to talk about Claude. The reason why I'm going to talk about Claude is because it's the most practical one for business, right? And if anybody has to, wants to challenge, like, well, why is that? The Pentagon uses it. So I always make a joke where if the Pentagon can use it to blow shit up, I'm pretty confident it can help you sell some houses. Yeah, I promise you it can help you do that. So that is the dominant network they're using on a global scale right now outside of when we leave the US. So when anybody say, well, what large language you should be using, use the one that's actually getting stuff done. And Claude is the one that's getting stuff done right now. Can we agree there? Now, be clear. Uh, just so you guys understand where I'm from an environment where I'm not offensive. I'm just forward speaking. I can see you. So when I speak to you, I expect heads to be shaking and right. Like we're not gonna have a staring contest today. Is that cool? Thumbs up if that's cool. There we go. There we go. All right, Doug, put your thumbs up. I can see you, man. You're in Silicon Valley. You by the money. All right. So here's what I want to try and understand. If we can, and it's okay if you guys turn your mics on because this isn't like I'm not just making this stuff up. I want to hear you talk because talking helps me get context. And the very first rule when it comes to using any type of agentic workflows is context. It is never the software, it is always the user. Helen, you follow that, right? People are like, it doesn't work for me. It ain't the software, it's you, right? So context is essential. So Joanne, if you have a question, by all means, if I say something that I'm moving too fast, by all means, this is not off the cuff. This is what we do every day with multiple clients. I just to give context. I service right now at operation error, no, user error. I service well over 500 real estate teams and brokerages worldwide. Where we take care of a lot of their agentic workflows, their advertising. We do stuff with major companies at my other company called ROAS Consulting. We do messenger bots, voice-based campaigns. We do some augmented reality. So when we talk emerging tech, I've been in this space for over about 15 years in reference to where it is. When you guys started playing with chat,
Can you wait a minute?
I'm moving too fast.
I'm trying to get on my call.
Who is that? They're in the background talk. I was just talking to me for a minute. But just so you guys understand, like I said, I've been in this space for a while, right? So there isn't much that we haven't played with, used, or did. We build agentic workflows, and that's the core. That's the kind of the push I'm going to get you guys. It's okay, you're good. That's where I'm going to push you guys to understand. She said, risk on, mics on. I want you guys to understand the environment we're in right now, Don, is agentic, right? We have surpassed the area of agents where agents have divided itself, where we have manual, which is RAG agents. RAG agents help us reduce the hallucination. And then we have autonomous, right? Autonomous agents are when they just do stuff. I'll share this with you, and I just want you guys to follow me when I say this. The majority of people that talk about they're using autonomous agents are lying. I'll say it again. The majority of people that are saying they're using autonomous agents in our industry are lying. Why are they lying? One, it is too expensive, right? And two, the structure of having an autonomous agent move on that level where it's doing something every day, right? Very few people have the structure of allowing it to do that. Now, we have an agent called Tiffany. Tiffany, I'll give you her email if you want to email her now. Tiffany handles my flights, right? She handles my scheduling. She has a budget of $2,000, right? And she has a rule that if she has to go over that $2,000 mark, I have 2 hours to respond to her. If I don't respond to her in 2 hours, she makes a decision. The unique thing about Tiffany speaks and engages with people where you are, right? So you start cursing with Tiffany, she will start cursing back. That's how autonomous agents work. Now, just to give you perspective, on the low scale, right? On the low scale of when Tiffany is engaging, let's say on a calendar, when she's handling my calendar, that's $30. When she's handling my calendar, right? When she's in full run of just getting work done, we've seen a budget of what she spent. She spent $2,000 without booking flights or anything, right? Now she can do all that. So just imagine if you put an autonomous agent next to a virtual assistant, you can see how expensive that gets. You guys are following me? So when people talk about like it's and that's the dangerous part about when we talk about emerging tech. There's a lot of people that know enough to be dangerous, but very few are practitioners. Today, I want you guys to become practitioners. And I don't want to give you guys too much. I want to give you guys enough where you guys are applying the thing. So the very first rule is we are going to use Claude, right? We're not going to, hey, which is better? I'm not interested in what's better. We're going to focus on what's working right now. Can we agree with that? Right? It's almost like that CRM conversation. Which CRM is better? The one you use. You know what I mean? Like that's the one that's better, right? So when it comes to large language models, that is going to be your brain. The brain is essential when we get into agentic workflows, right? I'm going to show you guys a few slides, and I'm going to help bring you guys close to where I want you guys to get to. Is there referring to the paid version? Yes. Start with the $20 version, but when you are working, you will need to max out to the $100 to $200 version. Anybody that's using the $20 version and saying they're doing stuff that's effectively are lying. I assure you. I promise you are. Because you will burn through your usage within the first, this, if you're really working, you have more downtime than anything, right? And I'll show you guys that since you're asking that questions, that's a good, now it gives me more insights of what you guys understand. Now you need to understand what usage is, right? So let's get past the like, hey, get this and get that. There is a reason why certain tools have their functions, because when you understand when you're spending, if you're going to get a $20 version of something, right? You don't need all of them. You need the ones that are working. And very few of the models that you're spending $20 on, you're able to get work done. The rule I'm going to help you guys understand is if you have to copy and paste anything you do moving forward, you're doing it wrong. Say that with me. If you have to copy and paste anything you're doing moving forward, you're doing it wrong. The rule, Jackie, I want you to hold on to. You with me, Jackie? Is nothing we're talking about is hard. It is just unfamiliar. Okay? Everything I'm going to show you, Joanne, might be unfamiliar, but it is not hard. I need you guys to hold on to that, because if you decide to agree that it's hard, you will not use it, Lexi. Right? And I need you guys to use this. This is going to be one of the core components to your business. When I say this is game-changing stuff, this is game-changing when you understand how to not even be proficient with it, but how do I make it practical for my business? Right? Because once you get it practical, then you find out the ease of use it's not that complicated, right? Because everything is context, right? And once you have that ease of use, now you don't need somebody to nurture the implementation. What I'm saying is you don't need somebody to say, here's my course, that's the goofy shit. I need you guys to understand a lot of what you guys have access to requires communication. That's it. Right? So one of the first rules I need you to understand is it is just unfamiliar. Cool? All right, I'm going to show you a few things, right? And as we go through some stuff, I'll start to connect the dots, right? But I need to show you elements, because you need to see all of these elements play along with where things are, right? Rule one, not hard. Just there we go, Jackie. Not hard, unfamiliar, right? Because I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk about MCPs, model context protocols. Those are connectors. I'll show you. We're going to talk about skills really quickly. Skills align itself with what's considered to be RAG agents, retrieval augmented generation. Don't get caught up into the words. That's just what they call it. It's like foreclosure. And what else we going to call it, right? It's not bad, just it's what it's called, right? And then we're going to show you just what agentic workflows can be. So if you understand the elements, the limitation after you understand the elements is going to be imagination, Brent. That's it. Cool? Yeah? All right, let me pull up my screen real quick. I think I should have sound. Christina, what are you smiling at? You very giddy down there. Clearly she ain't paying attention. Look, everybody can see her down there. Christina Williams. Yeah, she talking and all kinds. Look, she busy. Look.
Christina's always got a smile.
That's cool. Let me make sure my sound is on. Sorry about that, you guys. Make sure my sound, I'm picking with Christina, didn't turn my sound on. Now Christina paying attention. 1350. I'm talking about. That's a husband. Williams, is that your husband name? I see she has or is your maiden name? Turn your mic on, talk to me since I done started picking with you. Can you guys see my screen?
It's my married name, yeah.
It's your married name.
Yep.
Is that you pitching with your
sorry
husband?
about that.
No,
I thought
fine.
I was anyway. Sorry.
No, I can see you though. Camera's on. All right. All right. So let me just go through this, and remember, if there's any if I'm moving too fast, I'm saying something, just stop me, you guys. I need you guys to understand where we're going, right? Is it Hala? Am I saying that right? Halea? Hala? Yes? No?
Yes.
Holland?
Yes.
Holland. Okay, there we go. Pleasure to meet you, Holland. All right. So if you guys want to stay connected with me, I just started a YouTube channel. This is where you guys can go, and I am putting out a lot of interesting information where it's giving you guys context. I follow the same rules I talk about, you guys. things that are practical. So I will be talking about how do you do, list and prospecting. We're talking about how do you build micro advertising, dashboards where you can run ads. We're talking about Claude on a practical sense, things that beyond just because I think you can go anywhere and say how to, right? But let's talk about techniques and strategies that are applicable to your business. Those are the things we're going to be putting on the YouTube channel. So if you guys want to stay close to me, guys can go there. I'm also on Instagram as well. So move from there. All right. Wait, okay, my slides all over the place, you guys. Give me 1 second. Let me back this up. There we go. Boom. Perfect. All right. So the very first thing I want you guys to understand is it's still early. Now, why is it still early? I want you guys to catch this chart here that I want to show you guys really quickly. And it'll make a lot more sense as we start to move on, right? Each one of these dots are equivalent to 3.2 million people, right? So we're looking at the world right now. Everything in this gray are people that have never used any type of AI tool. Doesn't matter what it is. They've never used it, right? So the percentage is 85% of the world has never even touched this stuff at all, right? Some of you guys are in this area where about 16% of the world is using something free, right? That means they jumped on it. And you need to think about when we say use something free, that means they got on it, asked it a question and just moved on. They probably asked it a joke and it wasn't funny and kept it moving, but they use something free, right? Most people that use something free don't really, we don't really lock in. It's just, it's like that rule of if you pay attention, right? But those of us that's paying, right? This is some of you guys here now. 0.3% of the people that are actually paying for at least a $20 version of what these tools are. Just a $20 version, right? But Matthew, this is us right here. We're that 0.04% that's actually building something, right? Like we're using it at a scale where, okay, listen, we can, even if we're not fully adapt to, MCPs, we're at least building things that will be applicable to our business, right? Very small area, but this is the number I want you guys to pay attention to. Every age, I need you guys to catch this. This right here, this is 12% of businesses in the United States actually use AI or agentic workflows in their business. I'm not talking about asking it a question or copying or pasting. I'm talking about creating actual workflows that get things done. 12%, right? I can assure you this 12% is we're not even talking about the real estate industry. So when I say you're early, you're super early at really understanding how this stuff is. And you can't break it because what you want to understand is this concept right here is called the diffusion of innovation. The diffusion of innovation talks about innovators and early adapters. I want you guys to catch those two numbers because right now that's where we are, right? When we talk about social, right? Any of the social platforms, we're like in that late majority, and some platforms we're kind of in that laggards. What you can see here is anybody that has adapted to technology in these early stages, it's almost 100% success rate. Just imagine if you would have took advantage of Instagram, Facebook, or even YouTube in its inception. Where would your business be? Game changer. This is the opportunity we have right now in reference to what we have in reference to emerging tech. So I just want you guys to catch this. I don't want you guys to glaze over when they bring people in here to help you guys understand this stuff, right? So just some foundation for you guys. Now, let me show you guys just the future of advertising because this is how you guys are going to be able to generate business. I know you guys keep hearing people talk about content, to be producing content, but sometimes we struggle with the content concepts. It's not the easiest thing to do, but there are workarounds. So when there's workarounds, what we have the ability to do is we can create caricatures, right? We can create the avatar or the person that would be ideal for the audience that we want to serve, right? So we create that person. We give that person some elements, right? Now we give her an environment. This would be more like something for the city. We did this for something, and I think it was like Atlanta. We did this particular person for, right? But then we take this same person. What you're seeing here is what's considered to be multi-agent systems, MAS. This is where we are when it comes to advertising. Don't trip out when you see all these little blocks right here. These are called nodes. I'm going to show you what that is in 1 second. Nodes are just a collection of systems where now we're moving as a workflow. Remember what I said to you guys in the beginning, if you have to copy and paste stuff, you're doing it wrong. You need to be thinking about systems. Every prompt you create has to help you guys build into a system, right? A prompt is not a one-off thing. A prompt should be moving into a system. So just here, same concept applies. What you see here, there's a prompt here, there's a prompt here. This is the activation. This is the outcome. And then when
Just
it's done,
checking in. By now, I think you all can see how powerful AI marketing can be when it's done, right? Now I'm going to go drink my coffee. Bye, y'all.
I need you to understand she does not exist. She's never existed. But if you put this in the right environment, right, you put this in the right element, this becomes something. If you guys want to learn more about nodes, this is a software you can use to help you guys get familiar with nodes. Start with the free version, play with it. Remember, it is unfamiliar, but here's the unique part about what I'm showing you. You can't break it, right? You can't break it. So use your QR codes. Go check this out. Just play around with it. This is the future of advertising. And let's not say the future. This is the current advertising. But some of you guys are saying like, well, how is this practical for my business? Well, let's just take this listing here. You can see everything that's involved with this listing. The elements, in reference to the picture, pricing. I want you to hold on to that, right? See the picture, see the pricing, and your description, see the context. Remember that avatar just showed you.
Hey there, I'm Castlebar, and I'm really hoping you're the one I've been waiting for. Here's the deal. I just had a price improvement, and I'm offering $10,000 toward your closing costs or rate buy down. I want to make this work for you. Let me tell you what makes me special. I'm sitting on almost half an acre that backs right up to Nickajack Creek. No neighbors behind you, just water, trees, and protected green space. It's peaceful here, really peaceful. I've got over 3,000 square feet with this amazing split-level layout. Vaulted ceilings, huge windows that frame the woods, 2 fireplaces to keep things cozy. My kitchen flows right into the dining and great room, perfect for when you have people over. And my deck and brand new patio, they're basically begging you to host summer barbecues. 5 bedrooms, 3 full baths, new roof, new HVAC, even heated floors in the primary bathroom. I'm ready for my next chapter. Come by and see me sometime. Dustin has my keys.
And what you're seeing there, and just to pause for 1 second so I don't lose you. What you guys are seeing there is that is the house giving itself. Now you gave the house personality. The house has perspective now. The house has context of what it is. You see what I'm saying? Now you can take whatever caricature you want. We can put Kelly, you can put yourself there if you choose to, right? But what I'm removing is the excuse of I don't want to do content. I don't know how to market. I don't know. You don't have to anymore. You just need to know what you need to get done. This is why the tool is so important, right? Workflows, right? Not one-off workflows. Any questions there really quickly, right? No questions there?
Yeah,
Go
I have
ahead.
a question. So where we scan the QR code for the node, that's what you use to make that video, or is it like
Yes.
a combination?
Nope.
Okay.
That was it. That was everything right there.
Mind blown.
You created the character. We gave her elements. We gave them the visuals, right? And we condensed it and let it go from there, right? I'll even show you really quickly that there is inside of Claude. Remember, Claude is the tool. Claude takes can I put the QR code? No, I cannot, Jackie. That means you wasn't paying. No, I'm kidding. I'll put it up again for you. Otis, can you drop Weavy AI inside the chat for everybody?
Yeah, I got you.
He's gonna put in the chat for you, Jackie. Claude is the brain of how that's done. Now, remember, unfamiliar. I'm going to show you the back end just quickly, how you connect the dots. Weavy is the system. Claude is the brain. Are we there? You still with me? Right? So if Claude is the brain, let me just show you really quickly. Right? So let's do this. Right? Because we're working now. And let me share my screen again. And again, any questions you guys have, by all means, just, we can get into this. Like I'll show my whole screen. That'll work. That might be better for us. There we go. You guys see everything, right? Don't worry, I ain't got nothing bad on here, right? All right, so we're gonna stay in Claude. You move this over. And I'm doing this because I know people are scared of this. We're gonna go to Claude Code, and I'm gonna hold you here, right? And then we're gonna go inside of, let's say, homes in Philly. Let's pull up a home, all right? And remember, I showed you guys the outcome. I'm show you just some of the back end. So let's just use, for the sake of argument, we want to take this listing here, all right? This is the listing. I'm going to pull that over, and we're going to go back to Claude Code. And remember, workflows, right? Now, what you're seeing here, these are called command codes, right? These are just commands. We have a lot of different commands inside of here that we use, but there's one in particular I want to show you that that show you how the property workflow is done. Listings. There we go. All right. So when you see how commands work, how commands work is once the RAG is uploaded or the information is uploaded, RAG just prevents it from hallucinating. It gives it rules. Once the rules are uploaded, this is the command code. This command code is built for me to give this a listing and go out and build that sequence of videos from images. Remember, we're just pulling. All we did was give it this, right? Now, what you're seeing is, go ahead, I'm listening. What you're seeing is the back end of what the front end of what the node was doing. Let me pull out for a second. Go ahead, Matthew. I'll show that when that's done. I'll let that do its thing. And we'll come back
so earlier you had said if you have to copy and paste, you're doing it wrong. However, you just copied and pasted from Zillow, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah, I'm just showing you guys an example. I got to show you just the process.
What did you mean by copy and paste exactly that would be doing it wrong? Because I'm starting to use Claude and I copy and paste a little bit here and there. But
I got you. MCPs. Unfortunately, Zillow hasn't given us an MCP, right? So if Zillow gave us an MCP where we can just pull that, we can pull the information. Good. So when it comes to like your emails, your calendars, anything you have an MCP, and for you guys that are confused, I'll show you 1 second. MCPs are your connectors. Everywhere you have a connector, you do not leave the network.
Oh, so James, do you mean if you create a prompt in Claude and then you have to? No, yeah, but I'm trying to get to Matthew's question because I'm maybe a little bit ahead of Matthew, but way behind you. So what you're saying is if you create a prompt in Claude and then you copy its output to another AI, that's what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
So the connector you're taught, the MCP is Claude should take that output and dump it to another AI for you.
It should dump it to anything, any tool, any tool that you guys give Claude the access. It doesn't even have to be a separate AI. Any tool you give Claude access to, it needs to work internally.
Okay, so like a tool would be Canva, for example.
Anything, Canva, your CRM, your emails.
And the copy and paste is more on the aspect of the importance of context, right? So Claude has context.
It's more of efficiency.
Okay.
Yeah, more of efficiency.
Hey, Matt, a good example that I'm way like I am not nowhere near any kind of expert, but just an example. I played with this a couple weeks ago. And I took Claude and MCP, I connected it to the back end of my CRM, and I had it reorganize and look through all my CRM and find commonalities. So I didn't have to do anything. I didn't export from CRM. It actually did it for me.
So let me bring you guys close. I got you, Terry. Let me show you something that brings you even closer, right? So let's just say, right, and I'll come back to what we were going to build with the workflow, because I want to show you guys just what it asked me. So I'm gonna come back to this really quickly, but I'm just gonna go to Claude inside the web version so you guys can see when we talk about it. Somebody just asked about what is MCP. So, and just so you know, the web version and the desktop version, there is a lot of overlap now. So it's not as complicated as it used to be. A lot of what you do on the web version, you can do on the desktop version. The only thing that separates the desktop from the web version is you actually have access to files and folders from your laptop on the desktop version that you don't have. So here I have files here on the desktop version. I can actually pull files from my computer. But someone asked about MCP, so let's just show you really quickly. MCPs are these are connectors, right? So anytime you have connectors, this gives me access to every tool, and these are just connectors that I have. Any tool that I'm going to be using on a steady basis, I should be able to maneuver throughout that tool directly from Claude. So, for example, if it has connections to my email, it has connections to my calendar, and let's just state it, right? I need you to write me a welcome email to Matthew. We're going to start working out together on Tuesday. Uh, Next Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern, schedule that in my calendar. Also, put the email inside a draft for Matthew. Let Matthew know I'm bringing my 2-year-old daughter, so we'll have a babysitter for her as well. We'll stop there. I'll stop there. Now, it's going to pull, it should pull my calendar. It should pull my Gmail account, the one that's connected, right? And while it does that, I'll show you this really quickly. So for you guys that are asking about MCPs, since we're talking about MCPs, MCPs that you can't find inside of Claude, I promise you it's going to be here. All of your CRMs are right here. Every CRM you can think of is going to be right here inside Zapier. Now, it's very important that you guys understand I'm not talking about Zapier, the standard. I'm talking about Zapier, the MCP server, right? The only thing you need to do is make sure that if you're going to use this, because if you're going to use your CRM, right, which you can see here, Follow Boss is connected. If you're going to use your CRM, you have to give, and the same rules apply, you have to give Claude access to the Zapier MCP. Remember, Claude is just the brain, just the brain. MCPs are where we give it tools. Any tool you can think about that you're going to use, give Claude access to it, right? There are a few ways you can prevent Claude from just going crazy. So let's see, here's Matthew's number. Matthew at gmail.com. There's a few ways you can give it permission. I personally just give it permission just to go. The reason why is because I don't have time to always approve things, right? To go back and forth, say yes, approve, approve, approve. But for you guys that are like, that have some trepidation of giving it access, you can have it set and it's already in default to ask for permission to do those things. All right, so see what's happening here? All right, so we have
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? All right, so let's just go. So we should have our draft set up. So let's go check. All right, so we got, let's go here. Let's go to Tiffany's email because this is who our agent is connected to. Let's go check and see if that draft is there. All right. All right, there's the draft. All right, there we go. And let's make sure that appointment is there. And we got it for Tuesday. Here we go. I'm working out with Tuesday. There we go, Matt. Right. And if I wanted to give it, say, hey, connect it to Zoom or email him, we could say that as well. Right. So that's what I mean by if you have to copy and paste something, you're doing it wrong. Everything can be done directly in Claude. Now, even down to the point where, and this is just something quick that you want to think about when you guys are using Claude, and I'll come back to this session. So what it's asking me is, let's finish this out so we can have it when it's done. Let's do the recommendation. I'm just gonna do all the recommendations. This is building, right? This is the only time this is preset to ask me a few questions of how we want to create those elements that you just seen that marketing video is done, right? And then I'll jump back really quickly. Fax me things. So you can see here, I keep the Claude code, always set it auto. I also keep here inside of chat under co-work. I always keep this set as approved. Now, remember I said before it does anything, it's going to be set at manual, right? So when you're using co-work, if you ask it to do something, it's going to be set at manual. And every time you ask it to do something, it's going to stop. When you guys are using MCPs, you'll see inside your connectors, right? Every connector does give you permission to set parameters, right? So we can set parameters where we can give it permission and to just let it go, right? For you guys that are designing, 21 Dev is an amazing tool up. You guys create some really dope websites, anything you want to do. 21 Dev is just in case somebody asks me, what is 21 Dev, right? But my point is, any MCP that you have access to, let's just say in the Gmail, right? If you feel like, I don't want it just to do stuff, you can set parameters, you guys. You can set parameters, right? And here's the unique part about when it comes to MCPs. I know some people have like multiple Gmail accounts. You guys that have multiple Gmail accounts, this is where you give it access to more Gmail accounts. I got an echo popping up, you guys. I don't know where it's coming from. All right. But this is where you give it multiple accounts. But that's just a quick like overview of MCPs. It is giving Claude access to tools. Give it access to all the tools that you need for your business so you don't have to jump all around and keep asking or keep copying and pasting and moving things around. That makes sense? All right. I'll come back here. Let's get back into the slide. Any questions there, you guys? Am I moving too fast? I don't have a lot of time, so I can't, forgive me. Like you guys are on the treadmill running right now. So, all right. So really quickly, when you guys, this is like a 6 protocol process that you guys want to get familiar with understanding. There's a protocol structure where you understand large language model, we just talked about, the function of the model, which using tools, which is MCPs. RAG agents keep large language models from making shit up, right? It follows the rules that you provide. Retrieval augmented generation just follows the rules it provide. Looping agents, I'll show you what that is in 1 second, but they're simple. They're projects. That's when I talked about prompts. You give it the prompt. If you have a prompt that you're going to use, this needs to become a looping agent. I'll show you what that is in 1 second. We just talked about the MAS, which is the multiple agent systems. Having a multiple agent system is how you're able to actually do things like advertise, marketing, anything when it comes to Agentic on the Agentic autonomous side is what MAS is. But now I want to show you guys just the protocol structure that you guys need to be aware of how Agentic should work in your business when we talk about like just running everything. And remember I said about autonomous. Autonomous is not a cheap process, but there's a workaround. This is the workaround. The very first thing is you need to know where the money is when it comes to the agentic workflows. This industry as of 2026 is equivalent now to be a $10 billion industry right now. Right. But look where it's going to be at in 2034. It's projected to be almost a $250 billion industry. You have access to this right now. So don't blow by what I'm talking about as if it's not important. Yes, you can sell a few houses, but it also gives you options, right? This is just an overview of what workflows will look like. Do not trip out. I just want to show you what this is. Remember, unfamiliar. A lot of what you see here is built by agents. So don't think you got to go piece by piece by piece. But no. You just need to see just the process of when you are building correctly. It can do everything that your imagination allows. All right. Now, here's a protocol structure you guys all need to learn how to create. You need to have some type of localized intelligence. That means your large language models. You need to have some type of geographic database. That means whatever your expires you're coming from, your CRM, wherever you're pulling that from, your listing prospect. You need something calling these particular people. I'm not talking about email. I'm not talking about SMS. I mean physically calling and prospecting and finding out if the information that you have from that database in a sense of RedX or Vulcan 7 is correct. Now you can put that in front of a lead. You get a list of 100, the 3 or the 10 that has the correct information from address to name and everything, that's who we're talking to. I don't need to talk to the other 97, right? We need a follow-up. We need something that's going to follow. We need something that's emailing, sending out interactive video campaigns, which we can, if I have time, I'll show you what that is. You need something that's actually sending out some text. You need something that's messaging, which is like the Instagram and Facebook, and you need something calling. You have to stay in front of these leads and these opportunities to convert. Right? You need to have something that stand top of mind. I just showed you when you guys are marketing correctly where the house is selling itself. That's top of mind stuff. Also, you need to give someone the opportunity to say, you know what? I would like to be a part of your team, right? I like what you're doing, right? I done closed a deal with you. Having some type of recruiting component where if you did a deal with somebody, it would be, you almost do a disservice not to ask them, hey, listen, I'm working on this team. You think you might want to be a part of it? The worst they can say is no. And then you need to be prepared to scale and growth, because if you guys don't understand how to build a functional business, you are preparing to sell real estate until you die. That makes no sense, right? So the process of the protocols, now you need to understand the tools. The tools are simple. You need a large language model. You need a voice agent. You need a task agent, which I just showed you. You need something to help you with interactive videos. And then you need something to automate the workflows. And all of that needs to feed into one CRM. That is the game. 6 protocols, 5 tools, 1 system. That's it. Questions? I know it's a lot, but I ain't got time, and I know y'all be running over, so
What if you
I'll
could
come
give
back.
us something that we could take with us and actually implement? Because I think, whenever it's a new thing, learning people just don't act, right? So
Somebody said
what if
that's it.
what if we showed us how to connect our email and calendar like you
Yes,
just did? I think
let's
that
do.
would be like a really cool first
We could
step
do
of
that.
like,
Yeah, we
all
could do
right,
that. Let's go.
because you
Let's go.
just talked to text and then it happened. And that's like,
I got
whoa.
that's and here's what I want you guys to set up. This is a good tool. Here we go. Hey, Otis, drop Whisper Flow inside the chat for me. This is going to be the strongest tool in your arsenal, you guys. This is going to be the game changer for you, right? This here, Whisper Flow. This is when you are talking to everything you're doing. You're talking to all of the large language models. You're replying to text, emails. The unique thing about this tool is it understands context. It removes out all of the fluff, all of the uhs, the ums, and it understands what you're trying to say. Texting right now is archaic. This is how you're able to get things done on a more proficient level, right? And this can be tied into your entire system. Now, Matthew said to show you guys CRM. So, really quickly, okay, this is done. All right. So this is what it built from that link. I'll pause there. So you guys get the gist. That was from an image, right? And I think it's still working a little bit. So we'll come back to here. So let's go to CRMs. Let's go to connections. So the very first thing you guys want to do is under connectors, we want to go to add connectors, right? So add connectors, move my screen. Add connectors, we're going to go to browse connectors, right? So we're going to go to our browse connectors, and then we're going to look up our Gmail, right? Gmail, let's connect that, right? You click this, and you see what it says connect, go through the authorization. When you guys get to the screen where it says connect, give it all the permissions. Trust me when I say this, because if you don't, you're going to be stopping and always approving stuff, right? So we're going to do that really quickly, all right?
Hey, question for you on that. If we
Go
have
ahead.
multiple interests or businesses or whatever that are different, like, we
Got
have
you.
the YouTube travel channel, we have
I
our
got
real
you.
estate. Can we use the same Claude and do two separate kind of, because
This
like
is
I
what
wanted access to our travel type stuff and
This is where Zapier comes in. So if you have other business, let's say if you have two different emails, the main email should be in Claude, whatever additional email should be here, and anything you think that will be secondary to your real estate business, connect it here in Zapier. The tool will be here in Zapier. So all of the Google stuff will be right here in Zapier for you. Everything. So this is where
but
you
you can
separate
use the
the
one Claude brain and have it
yes,
run two separate businesses and calendars and
yes,
so on.
yes.
Okay.
Because what I just showed you is that MCP, hold on, that MCP, uh, the connector. Go to connectors. All right. A little slow, guys. Okay. Zapier, you just want to make sure this is connected. And now you've given it access to another source of MCPs. Zapier has about like 4 or 5 thousand MCPs there. So your standard or your baseline of your MCPs, like your foundation for your real estate business, connected directly in Claude. You're gonna have to have a Zapier account anyway because you're not going to be able to connect your CRM. Your CRM is only going to be found in Zapier. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And let's go back to Google Calendar. Google, Google Calendar. All right. We're going to connect our calendar. And I want you guys to connect your Google Calendar and your Google Drive and your Google Chrome. I'm going to show you the Google Chrome, and then we'll pause from there. The reason why this is important because I see people teaching people how to use the Chrome extension, and you don't have to go through all the loopholes, right? The Chrome extension gives you guys access to where's anything that's password protected. Let's use Instagram for the sake of argument. Instagram is password protected, right? And when you're using Instagram, you can't just go in Claude and say, hey, help me with X, Y, and Z. You need the extension, right? But I don't need to work from the extension here. I just need to have the extension connected because when I'm inside Claude, right? When I'm inside Claude, I have my settings. See here? I just need to give Claude access to the extension. And now I never have to leave here. And you'll see Claude open up channels, right? Where if it was password protected, all you need to do is go into your MLS. If you wanted to pull stuff from your MLS data, just need to have your MLS open. Anything that's password protected is how you're able to use the extension. And you just give Claude where it's going to come from, but you don't have to leave Claude to use it once you have the extension, right? So if there's no MCP, right, and if it's password protected, you just need to have the extension and have the MCP connected, which you give it access to use the extension. And now anything that's password, like any type of data that you're pulling, like, for foreclosures, anything that's password protected, you just need to log in and then you can go back to Claude and work.
Okay. Sorry to hog,
Go
but I
ahead.
think people have, maybe this will help others too. Okay.
Lance got it. He's shaking his head. Lance got it.
If I understand this, so by connecting Google Chrome, I no longer just pull up Google and search Google. I can do it now through Claude, and as long as it's on topic of what I'm kind of trying to do, right? Because otherwise, won't it use a lot of the data
No,
credits and
pause for a second. You can search already, right? So there are other workarounds you want to search. What I'm saying is the extension gives you access to sites that are password protected.
Hmm.
So let's say like very few jurisdictions are given access to their MLS. There's a few, but there are very few MCPs that are inside the MLS. You know what? I'm dyslexic. You gotta talk to me. What y'all just wrote looked like Klingon to me. But you see what I'm saying? So anything that's password protected, as long as you're logged in, you can use Claude through the extension, but you do not have to go to the extension to do that.
So what if you don't use the Google Calendar and you use iCalendar? Does that still work?
It's in there. MCP is there. You can't name a tool that's probably not there outside of things that are like more like sensitive, things that are I mean, we deal with lawyers and everything. So, things that are like document control, things that are really, really sensitive, they're not going to give you MCP access to it. But the workaround is as long as you're logged in, you can have access to it.
James, are you using Claude Dispatch to connect
Yes.
your mobile to your and do you just have a desktop sitting or a Mac sitting it open all the time at home
You don't
or in
have
your
to because you don't
office?
have to do that anymore. So I'll show you really what he's asking me and see what you're doing. You're making me work now because people are like, what is dispatch? This is dispatch, you guys. Dispatch is when you give Claude a control to your coworker. So inside of dispatch, dispatch gives access where if I wanted it to do stuff, what makes the dispatch unique is you don't have to have your computer open anymore, right? As long as we keep it awake, you can. Sometimes we run into small problems. Sometimes they can't find the folder, but for the most part, as long as you have these functions on and you're giving it full computer use, you can. It's not a necessity anymore because dispatch do work with the computer closed. But this is a remote control where it's an agent that I can call in and have it do stuff. Just so you're clear, dispatch is different than the mobile app.
Yeah.
You have mobile app where you can do stuff, and you have dispatch. Dispatch gives me the ability to call in and say, "Hey, listen, I forgot to send Matthew the contract. Can you pull the contract from 123 Main Street? It's in XYZ folder, and he needs to review it, tie in the DocuSign signatures where they need to go." And send it out to XYZ email. So it'll go to the folder. Once it goes to the folder, the other tools are already connected as MCPs, right? They're already there, right? Even down to, you know, when you start tying in, small things like skills, right? When you tie in skills, and let's say, and I'll stop here. This skill helps with expired prospecting. Let's just say if somebody is ready to talk right now, right? How do we execute that, right? Dispatch does help that, or if somebody's really ready to like move forward. Dispatch helps that gets done, and it already understands this is for expired prospecting, right? So dispatch is an agent. It's not complicated to set up. The problem is people don't know what to do with it.
So if it's not the mobile that activates dispatch, I'm on the road and I want Claude to send me a file that is on my Google Drive somewhere. How do I activate the dispatch for my phone while on the road?
How do I say your name?
Miriam.
Marion, the Google Drive is easy because that's an MCP. I'm talking about if you have a folder physically on your computer. That's where it gets unique. It's simple. It's simple as calling it in, but don't get confused. Dispatch is mobile. It's just when you log into the mobile version, you'll see dispatch on the left-hand side. When you click dispatch, that activates your co-work agent.
Got it.
So now it works through there. And you can pull files from anywhere, right? It's easy to pulling it from Google Drive is easy, right? It's harder to pull hard copies. Like you go on vacation and realize like, Jesus, I just made this folder for Lance and it's on my laptop and I'm 2 hours away. It ain't in Google Drive. It's on your hard drive. You need access to it. Co-work gives you ability to do that and dispatch makes that possible.
Cool. Okay. So being that we're pressed for time here, unfortunately, this is amazing, right? So just to recap, if we wanted to do Gmail and calendar, you walked through that, but then you also did a talk to text. So there's one more thing we need to add to do the talk to text, or no?
Whisper flow. I had Otis drop that in the chat for you guys. Whisper flow.
Got it. Okay. Is everybody clear? We're going to actually connect our Google Calendar and our Gmails or our iCalendar, because I really want them to like dive in and implement. And I'm like a noob in regards to Claude, but I signed up on the $20 a month and I'm like trying to work it and use it. And
for you guys, like, and I don't come here to sell anything. We have a community that if you want to be a part of something to learn this stuff on a practical level, I can make that available. I see all of the like what the hell just happened moments going on right now, right?
Yeah.
That is like I said, we do it as just something we have. It's called the Agent Lab, and I teach and train this stuff every day, all day. We work with nothing but real estate professionals. This isn't how I make my money, so don't get it twisted, you guys. Like, trust me, like I make my money from my agency, but we have the community because I know what it is to be in an environment or sell real estate and not have the proper information. I have a disdain for people that know enough. I'd rather talk to a practitioner. Big difference, right? I know it just came. I looked at all what came through here, right? I have nothing negative to say anything about anybody, but I don't. It's easy for me to see the bullshit. Practitioners move different. This is why it feels different coming from me, right? This is what we do every day, all day, and the efficiency of your business is it shouldn't be so complicated, right? I know what I said is a lot because it's unfamiliar. But when you guys understand how essential this is for your business, it is a game changer. And it doesn't take long to understand this stuff. It is a game changer of how far you guys can go. And the limitation is only your imagination. That's it. If you can think it, Michael, you can do it. Like, hey, can you? Yeah, right. We may have to plug some things here. Yes. Right? There is nothing that we don't have access to that we can't build right now. And the main thing you guys can build is a fully functional business, right? Anybody that's here telling me like, hey, I grew up wanting to sell real estate all my life, you are bullshitting yourself. You're not fooling me. None of you guys thought that. You guys got to selling real estate and you don't know what else to do now. Build the business. Now you have the tools to do it.
So how do we have access to your community, my friend?
Oh, Jesus. All right. Here we go.
I'm bringing you back.
I got you. I'll pull, where is it? It's called the Agent Lab. I think I got it. Here we go.
You want me to drop it?
Yeah, drop it in the group for everybody. Otis, please. And we make it, like I said, we make it real easy, you guys. All right. It's $100 a month. It's $500 for the year. You want to jump for the year, you save $600. If $100 hurt you, you got bigger problems than me. Way bigger problems than me, right? But again, we're inside the community. For really quickly, I'll show you what it is since you guys asked me. It's like, what the hell, right? We do training. I have one of my proteges here, Otis. He's a whiz when it comes to virality, go through foundations. If you notice, I don't talk about prompts because there's a better way to do prompts. Prompts is such the lowest barrier to this thing at all, in a sense of AI. RAG agents, content ideas that take you through deep dive of MCPs. We give you custom MCPs. We do weekly coaching sessions. The only two areas we focus on is Google and Anthropic ecosystem, skills, vibe coding, AI tools. This here is our 6 protocols. I sell this for $18,000 a build and $2,000 a month to manage. I give all the stuff to you guys step by step of what you guys can use. You can use it, build it for yourself, resell it. I really don't care. We also have it where everybody's a part of the community. The way that you guys can recruit whatever your investment is. I partner with you 50-50. Listen, you get 2 people to sign up. Now you in the community for free. And you get it as long as they hang out there. We do coaching sessions just about every week, right? So we have Higgsfield, which is generative AI, different than large language models, right? Way, way different. Short form content, that's coming in. I do live coaching sessions with you guys about twice a month where we rip your business apart. This is where when you are trying to understand stuff, bring the idea, bring the concept, and we can get busy with it. The unique part about when it comes to the consulting, when people call me to consult, just for context, I charge $4,000 an hour to consult with me. So I'm not cheap to sit and talk to, but I do all that inside the live Q&A. So like I said, if you reach out to me after here and you're not part of the lab, I will send you an invoice.
Cool. Hey, really, really appreciate you, James, taking your time and hopping on and being so direct and sharing the stuff and bringing your energy. I love it. Would there be, other than probably joining the group there, is there a way they can email you or any other way you want them to get you or through the group?
No, come to the lab. That's the most
Okay.
cost-effective way.
Yep,
If you
fair enough.
emailing me, we talking business now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, I'm sure they can find you all over the internet and so on, and Instagram and all the things, I'm sure. So we're really, really grateful that you took your time to join us today. And it's great that many people, this is our first exposure to you. So that's one of the benefits of this platform. So we really appreciate that, my friend. If you need to bounce, I know you're busy, go ahead. We're going to promote our next speaker next week and all that. But man, thanks,
James.
Thank you.
Thanks a ton, James. That was awesome. Thank you.
Later.
Good stuff,
too.
bro. Love
Thanks,
it.
Otis.
Hey guys, before you hop off, we do this every Wednesday, as you know. You should have it planned in your calendar. You could probably have your AI to put it as a reoccurring appointment and set a reminder and an alarm on your phone, like all the things and the extensions and oh, did I? Okay, here we go. Anyway, so next week I'm going to be leading the team meeting. I'm excited about it. We are going to jump into basically, I have a guest who's killing it. Like, she was brought up on stage to teach and train at Tom Ferry's big event and so on. She's going to get into the aspect of how to go from an unknown agent to the go-to agent in 6 months. She's going to roll out a 6-month plan. I'm telling you, in this market, when things are down, and I mean, I'm talking to agents that normally do 80, 90 deals a year, and she's like, I've done 12 so far. Like, it's like, I need to, it's scary out there right now. It's tough, right? Like, can we all agree it's a little tough? So we need to sharpen our skills and get better, because when this thing starts to ramp up again in turn, which it always does, we will be ready. So we're going to implement our AI, and then she's going to get into how to actually do strategic farming and things of that nature. It may sound old school, but she's utilizing the new techniques and things and wrapping it all in. You're going to want to be the go-to agent in 6 months. So make sure you put it on your calendar and do not miss. Here's a little another nugget for you. Make sure that you don't keep it a secret. Like, share this with your friends in real estate. It doesn't have to be just us at EXP here. Like, you got a Remax buddy, you got a Keller Williams friend, invite them. Say, hey, you don't need to join EXP. Like, you could be a fly on the wall. You don't even need to turn your camera on. Just come join us, right? So this is a way that you can kind of deposit value into that relationship, so that at some point in the future, when they have an issue with their broker, or, delayed commission to payout, they're like, hey, Trevor, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about this EXP thing, right? Because you've been depositing into their bank account. All right. I think that's all we have. We went a little long, but man, it was good, right? So appreciate you guys. Hop on next week, nownation.live at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Now, as Tom says, I'll fill in from him. Now you've got your inspiration. Now it's time to put it into perspiration, and let's go get some appointments made and make some money. All right? Take care, you guys. God bless.